Okay, so you want to dive into 1999.
Yeah.
And is it the best movie year ever? That's the question a lot of folks are asking.
Big question.
Big question. And you've sent over some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And even a Bullseye interview with Brian Raftery, who wrote Best Movie Year Ever, How 1999 Blew Up the Big Screen.
That's a great book.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really good overview of the year.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we're not here to say like definitively like yes or no.
Right.
It's the best movie year.
Right.
But we want to unpack like why
people think that.
Why people think that.
Yeah.
Why is it such a debate?
Yeah. What is it about 1999?
Right. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's so special. So,
yeah. I think what's interesting about 1999 is it really was kind of a perfect storm of like a lot of different factors coming together.
Yeah.
Major studio releases.
Yeah.
Like Eyes Wide Shut.
Right.
Kubrick's final film.
Oh, yeah.
You have The Matrix, which blew everyone away with like the special effects.
Yeah, that bullet time.
Bullet time.
Yeah.
And then Pixar was hitting its stride with Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
You have these big dramas like American Beauty, The Green Mile, all coming out around the same time.
Vying for awards and everything.
Yeah. And of course, Star Wars. The Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't talk about 1999 without talking about that movie.
Oh, no, you can't. And it really dominated the conversation.
Absolutely.
At the time. I mean, you sent over those Reddit threads.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a goldmine.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
Right.
Like,
it's passionate.
It's like they're arguing about which films are going to be remembered in 20 years.
Exactly.
And it's like so funny because you're like,
you never know.
You really don't.
Yeah.
The Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's like
either you love it.
You love it or you hate it.
Yeah. But it's like a big conversation.
Right.
Right. And then also, there are all these little movies that are coming up.
Right.
That people are like, see this one. Like Election Girl, Interrupted, Ghost Dog.
Right.
It's like, there's so much there.
Yeah.
So much good stuff.
Yeah, 1999 really did have like a little bit of something for everyone.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, though, how much of that conversation really circles back to like a very specific type of movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's that like white dude malaise film.
Yes.
As Raftery calls it in the Bullseye interview.
Right.
You know, you have all these films like Fight Club, Office Space, American Beauty.
Right.
All centered around these like white male protagonists who are really grappling with disillusionment, rebellion against corporate culture.
Yeah.
It was a big theme.
Huge.
It really resonated at the time. Oh, yeah.
But it's also like a very specific lens through which we can look at like anxieties of the late 90s.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like that they're all about white dudes.
Right.
It's how they're dealing with the themes.
Right.
Right. Like
exactly.
Raftery brings up this point.
Yeah.
That it was this pre-9/11 world.
Yeah.
And there was this humor that was allowed.
Right.
Like, even though they were dealing with these dark topics, there was this lightness to it that maybe we wouldn't see as much today.
Right.
Like, it's a really interesting point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, like, going back and watching these films now, a lot of them, like, they're dealing with some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not afraid to use humor.
No, they're not.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, that's something that really sets 1999 apart.
Yeah, it does feel different.
Yeah.
Like Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
So dark.
But also so funny.
Yeah.
But it's like a critique of, like, consumerism, masculinity.
Totally.
Like, all of it.
Yeah.
And then you've got Being John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just like...
so weird.
It's so weird.
And so funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But it's about like
identity and fame.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, what does it even mean to be a person?
Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. And it's like almost like they're acknowledging that like, okay, the world's kind of a messed up place.
Yeah, it is.
Let's laugh about it.
Let's laugh at it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like a coping mechanism.
It is.
It's like through humor that we can like actually look at some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And like process it.
Totally. Yeah. And it's like you're saying. Yeah. It's not just about making people laugh.
Right. It's like humor can be like a really powerful tool for social commentary.
They can like disarm you.
Make you more receptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like challenging ideas.
Totally.
Right. It's like sneaking in a Trojan horse of like social critique hidden inside a joke.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, though.
Yeah.
Like this pre-9/11 world.
Yeah.
Did that allow... Did this like playfulness?
That's a good question.
This like subversive humor?
Like maybe there was a...
Like security? Like lightness?
Yeah.
That's just not there anymore.
It's possible. Yeah. And it allowed filmmakers to kind of like play with these ideas in a way that...
In a way that we just don't...
We don't really see anymore.
We don't see anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not all just jokes.
Right.
Right.
Oh, really.
There's some anxiety.
Definitely some anxiety.
There's some darkness in these films.
Yeah, like especially about technology.
Oh, yeah.
And like the future.
Yeah. The Matrix.
Oh, my...
Like blew everyone's minds with the special effects.
Yeah.
But it's like also tapping into this fear of like, what if?
What if we lose ourselves?
What if?
In this digital world?
Right.
Like what if reality becomes like indistinguishable from simulation?
And you can't even tell the difference.
Exactly.
And then The Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Which is this like beautiful movie.
It's so good.
It's so good. So well animated.
Yeah.
But it's also this like...
This cautionary tale.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah.
About technology.
Right.
About like what happens when we just like keep advancing and advancing.
Like what are the consequences?
What are the consequences?
After our creation.
It's like both good and bad. It's like that potential is there.
Absolutely.
For both.
Yeah.
It's almost like...
Yeah, it's like 1999 is this
crossroads.
Yeah.
Where we're like...
Like we're starting to see like the digital revolution and we're like excited about it, but also like...
A little scared.
A little scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not like those anxieties.
I know, they've gotten worse.
Yeah. Like with social media, AI.
It's like they're amplified.
It's all amplified.
Yeah.
We were right to be scared.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Can't talk about 1999 without talking about The Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah, the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
This was like the movie.
It was the event.
Of the year.
Of the year.
Everyone was waiting for it.
Yeah.
But it's not...
Time is up and come.
No, it hasn't aged well.
Not really.
And even Raftery in the Bullseye interview.
Yeah.
He was like...
I saw it 5 times.
He saw it 5 times.
In theaters.
In theaters.
I was trying to love it.
He was trying to love it.
Yeah.
But he's just like...
Just couldn't.
Jar Jar Binks.
Ugh.
It's rough.
A lot.
It is. But it's still...
It's still part of the story.
Part of the story.
Of 1999.
It's like, it really shows you like the hype and like how sometimes expectations can just be impossible to meet.
They really can.
Yeah.
And it shows that not everything...
Not everything was perfect.
Was perfect in 1999.
In 1999.
Right.
There were misfires.
Some things didn't age well.
Things didn't age well.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens.
Which I guess goes back to...
Right back to those Reddit threads and that question of like...
Yeah, how many of these films...
How many of these films are we still going to be talking about?
In 20 years.
Right.
Like, what's the legacy?
What endures?
Of 1999.
Yeah.
It's a hard question.
It is a tough one.
It is.
I think some films from that year are like...
Undeniably classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But others might be more like...
Tied to the time.
Yeah, like a very specific moment. And that's where it gets interesting.
That's where it gets good.
Yeah.
It's like, what makes a film timeless?
Right?
Is it just quality?
Is it just how good it is?
Or is it something else?
Or is it like...
Cultural impact.
Yeah.
Like capturing the feeling of the time.
Captured like the zeitgeist of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
What makes it last?
Yeah. What makes it last?
Yeah.
Great question.
It is a good question.
It's a question.
And it's something we should definitely like think about more.
Yeah. We should, as we like dive deeper into like the themes and trends.
Yeah.
The things that...
1999 cinema.
Yeah, the things that were happening in the culture at the time.
Because maybe
by understanding that, we can understand.
He can understand the films better.
Yeah.
And why they still...
And why they still feel relevant.
Yeah.
Even today.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about all these movies from 1999.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
So many great ones.
So many good ones.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking about this one comment.
Oh, yeah.
In the Reddit threads.
Yeah.
Someone asked, like, how many of these will we still be talking about in 20 years?
Oh, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
And it really gets at, like...
The heart of it?
Yeah, like, what makes a best movie year?
Yeah. What makes a movie laugh?
What makes these movies last?
Right.
What makes them good?
Yeah. Is it just quality?
Yeah.
Or is there something else going on?
Right. Like,
is it about
the time?
the cultural moment?
Yeah. The conversations people were having?
Yeah. Like, what were the anxieties of that time?
Yeah. And how are these films reflecting that?
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like,
now,
like, how we consume movies?
Yeah. It's so different.
Streaming.
Right.
Social media. Everything's coming at you all the time.
It's like, you're just constantly bombarded.
With new stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes it harder?
That's an interesting question.
To have these shared moments.
I think so.
Like 1999 felt like
it feels like
a shared moment.
It does.
Yeah.
I think in 1999, like information just wasn't
as available.
You know?
Magazines, websites.
And a few websites.
Like a few word of mouth.
Right. People would actually like talk to each other about movies.
It was like a
wild.
It was like a more focused experience.
It was like everyone was drinking from the same well.
Yes.
You know?
Fewer movies.
Yeah.
More attention.
Yeah, so you'd get those water cooler conversations where everyone's seen the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you could actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like
everyone's
got their own
little thing.
Yeah, like their own algorithm curated watch list, you know?
And you're just like
and you're in your own little bubble.
And it's like, do we even talk about movies the same way anymore?
That's a good question.
It is. Yeah. Like, are we trading those?
Yeah, are we trading those shared experiences for like more individual ones?
Yeah. Right?
Right?
It's hard to say.
It is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's gone.
Right. They're not gone. They're just maybe
harder to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the best movie year isn't just like one year. It's like this.
It's like a journey.
Yeah, a journey.
Your own personal journey of discovery.
Yeah.
Through film.
That's a good way to put it.
It is.
It's exciting.
It is.
It means there's always something new.
There's always something.
Yeah, to discover.
To discover out there.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can find the things that speak to you. Yeah, regardless of like when they came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But even if it is your own journey.
Right.
It's still fun to look back.
Yeah.
At those years.
Those moments in time.
When it felt big.
Where it felt like everyone was talking about the same stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like there was
a cultural moment.
Yeah, a zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1999.
1999 was definitely that.
It was.
Yeah, it was a year of like
transition, new technology.
Yeah, anxieties about that.
Anxieties, but also like
so much creativity.
It's like all happening at the same time.
Just bubbling over. Yeah. Yeah.
We laughed.
We cried. We thought.
We questioned everything.
We did.
Yeah.
It was a big year.
It was.
Yeah.
And maybe some of it hasn't aged well.
Yeah, some of it hasn't aged well.
Oh, but it's still
a snapshot.
A snapshot of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like
what?
A culture grappling with all of that.
Change and uncertainty.
Yeah. But also excited about new possibilities.
About the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe we can't say if 1999 is the best movie year ever.
Right.
But it definitely
left a mark.
It left a mark.
Yeah.
On film.
On culture.
On us.
On us as film lovers. It shaped us.
It shaped us. I think that's...
And at the end of the day,
yeah,
that's what it's all about.